Welcome to Svalbard, where extreme cold conceals one of the most important structures humanity has ever built. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault. At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a steel door set into a frozen mountain. But behind that door lies a true survival insurance policy for human civilization. Millions of seed samples from around the world, preserved in case natural disasters, war, or climate change cause crops to disappear forever. Today, the rate of extinction is outpacing humanity's ability to recover. We don't truly know what we've already lost or what could vanish next. If one day the global food system collapses, what will we eat? And will the plants that feed the world still exist? In this video, join Mandarin Tech as we open the door to Earth's ultimate time vault and uncover the secrets of the most important seed repository on the planet. The 21st century is pushing the global food system into a more fragile state than ever before. Earth's average temperature has risen by more than 1.2 degrees Celsius, triggering widespread droughts, floods, and extreme weather that have devastated crops on a global scale. Urbanization and industrialization continue to shrink arable land. At the same time, modern agriculture relies on an increasingly small number of high-yield crop varieties, causing 75% of global crop genetic diversity to disappear in just 100 years. When war, energy crises, or even a single technical failure occur, the global food supply chain can collapse in a very short time. That is why Svalbard Global Seed Vault was built, as a last backup, where the world's most valuable genetic resources are duplicated and preserved under exceptionally stable conditions. Inside its permanently frozen chambers are more than 1 million seed samples, sealed in aluminum packets, each containing 500 seeds. Every sample represents a unique genetic variation, the result of 13,000 years of human agriculture. When a crop variety disappears in the wild, this vault may be the only place where its original form still exists. And at the genetic level, a single seed can become the key to solving a crisis humanity has not yet even imagined. The design of the Svalbard Global Seed Vault began with a simple idea: drill a tunnel straight into the mountain and place the storage facility at the deepest point. Early plans even considered building a refrigerated structure inside the tunnel, but engineers soon realized it wasn't necessary. In the Arctic environment, temperatures inside the mountain naturally balance with the outside. Adding extra buildings would only increase costs without improving safety. Instead, the final solution takes advantage of Svalbard's permafrost. By cooling the rocks surrounding the vault itself, the mountain becomes a natural thermal shield that continues to protect the seeds even during a power outage. The facility consists of a tunnel about 120 meters long, leading to 3 large storage chambers located roughly 130 meters inside the mountain. Each chamber functions as an independent cold room, maintained at 18 degrees Celsius, working together with the permafrost to create extremely stable conditions. From the outside, the vault appears as a small triangular structure rising from the snow. But deep inside the mountain, it is a carefully engineered space designed to preserve the genetic foundation of life on Earth. But for those seeds to remain undisturbed for decades beneath the frozen mountain, they must go through a very specific journey. When seed shipments arrive in Svalbard, they are first taken to a temporary holding area just inside the entrance, only about a 10-minute drive from the airport. From there, the long-term storage process begins. After passing through multiple security doors, the seeds are moved down a tunnel, roughly 45 meters long, that leads directly to the central core of the facility. This section is the newest part of the vault, built using construction technology originally developed for Norway's offshore oil rigs, making the structure completely waterproof. Depending on their weight, the containers are transported by hand carts or electric vehicles before reaching the main storage chamber. This chamber began receiving its first seed deposits in February 2020, after the second storage room had been filled to capacity. Each seed sample is sealed inside triple-layer foil bags, heat-welded to protect against moisture and oxidation, then placed in specialized boxes before being stored on shelving units. The target temperature for long-term preservation is 18 degrees. Even in the event of a power failure, the surrounding permafrost and hundreds of meters of solid rock keep the temperature at around 8 degrees, cold enough to keep the seeds frozen and stable. All of these procedures were first tested in 2008, when the very first seed shipment was placed inside the vault. At that time, more than 300,000 seed samples from 19 research institutions were deposited into Storage Chamber 1. This moment marked an unprecedented level of cooperation among gene banks around the world. Over the next 12 years, new deposits arrived on a regular basis. The shelving in the first chamber was gradually filled until the vault completed storage for a total of 659 containers. By 2025, Svalbard accepted more than 14,000 additional samples from 21 gene banks, significantly expanding this global collection. Among these were notable contributions, such as 12 boxes containing 11,000 samples from Australia. Each seed deposit follows a carefully coordinated logistical journey. Despite its isolated location in the Arctic, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault is equipped with alarm systems and sensors designed to detect any unusual activity. Yet since the day it began operating, the vault has never recorded a single break-in. The nearby town of Longyearbyen has only about 2,000 residents, living in a region where polar bears outnumber people, making the surrounding wilderness itself a natural layer of protection. For gene banks around the world, depositing seeds in Svalbard is like placing assets in a global safety deposit box. Only the institution that sent the seeds has the right to withdraw them. The security system is fully automated, with no staff permanently stationed on site and no single party holding all the keys. Because of this structure, Svalbard has become humanity's ultimate backup plan, a last line of defense for the genetic foundation of the world's food supply. As you move deeper into the storage vault, what stands out is not the architecture or the cold, but the sense of a system that is constantly expanding. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault was designed to receive seeds from all over the world, and this process began with the very first deposits, when 21 gene banks simultaneously sent backup samples here. One of the most representative shipments included 12 boxes containing 11,000 samples from Australia, ordinary in appearance, yet filled with genetic material refined through generations of farming. What makes the scale of this place truly remarkable is that it does not stop there. In the future, more than 1,400 gene banks across over 100 countries are expected to send their backup collections to Svalbard. As the shelves gradually fill, the team at Crop Trust must continuously sort, document, and reorganize the space to ensure every sample remains safely preserved for decades. The diversity of genetic material stored here is staggering. Around 4,500 potato varieties, 3,000 coconut varieties, 35,000 maize varieties, 125,000 wheat varieties, and more than 200,000 rice varieties. Each variety represents a different survival strategy, tolerance to salt, cold, pests, or changing climates. When one variety disappears, an option for the future of agriculture disappears with it. Even though modern humanity relies mainly on just 29 major food crops, thousands of other varieties must still be preserved, so that future genetic research and breeding efforts have something to build upon. Why does humanity need to preserve seeds? Because modern agriculture is trading genetic diversity for higher yields. High-producing varieties are prioritized, while older and rarer ones gradually disappear, making agriculture increasingly fragile. In the United States, the number of vegetable varieties grown today is only about 10% of what it was a century ago. When diversity declines, a single new disease, such as what is happening with bananas today, can wipe out an entire crop because there are no alternative varieties left. Climate change makes this risk even more serious. Crops are among the first living systems to face extreme heat, unpredictable winters, and new pests and diseases. Just 2 major harvest failures could push the world into a food crisis. The only solution is to preserve as much diversity as possible. Although there are around 1,050 seed banks worldwide, many remain vulnerable to war or natural disasters. That is why Svalbard Global Seed Vault was built as a last resort backup. Svalbard's permafrost maintains a natural temperature of around 6 Celsius, helping protect seeds that normally require 18 Celsius for long-term storage. The vault has already proven its value. In 2015, when the Syrian civil war destroyed the Akarta seed bank, 80% of the collection backed up at Svalbard was withdrawn, replanted, and successfully restored. Under Svalbard's stable frozen conditions, seeds can survive for decades, and some wheat varieties are expected to last up to 1,000 years. As the world's largest rice producer, China feeds more than 1.4 billion people, nearly 20% of the global population. To maintain that leading position in the age of technology, the country has restructured its entire rice-growing process, transforming traditional paddies into an automated cultivation network powered by machinery and data. From the moment the first rice seedlings are planted, instead of hundreds of farmers bending down to hand transplant each stalk, modern self-propelled rice transplanters now handle the entire job. With an 8-row design and an average speed of 1.5 hectares per hour, each machine can match the output of about 60 manual workers, saving both time and labor on a massive scale. Equipped with the Beidou navigation system and auto-balancing sensors, these machines move with near-perfect precision, each seedling placed exactly 2.5 centimeters apart, in straight, laser-like rows. As the wheels roll across the field, thousands of seedlings are planted in perfect synchronization, forming a mechanical assembly line in the heart of nature, a vivid symbol of how technology is steadily reshaping the rhythm of China's rice fields. Across the rolling hills of northern China, apple season no longer means farmers climbing ladders in the cold wind. It's the steady rhythm of fruit-picking robots moving between rows of trees. Each robotic arm is equipped with high-resolution 3D cameras and color recognition vision systems that can detect perfectly ripened apples, even those hidden behind dense leaves. Once locked onto its target, the soft silicone gripper gently twists 180 degrees to detach the stem and places the fruit carefully into a separate tray, all in less than a second. Each unit can harvest about 6,000 apples per hour, matching the output of roughly 10 human pickers, with an accuracy rate of 98%. Pressure and ripeness sensors let the robot adjust its grip to prevent bruising, while the central processor records the size, weight, and freshness of every apple. That data is instantly sent to a control hub, allowing engineers to monitor and optimize productivity in real time. Solar panels mounted on the chassis power the entire system, enabling non-stop operation day and night without external charging. Self-balancing crawler tracks allow it to move steadily across uneven or muddy terrain, maintaining stability throughout the process. Every synchronized motion of its steel arms amid the crimson orchards reflects China's remarkable leap toward precision agriculture, where technology, efficiency, and nature work seamlessly as one. And when harvest season arrives, the tomato fields of eastern China ignite like a vast crimson ocean, where massive machines move in unison to the rhythm of the season. Each harvester, over 12 meters long and weighing nearly 18 tons, is powered by a high-performance diesel engine and a multi-axle hydraulic drive system, allowing it to maneuver steadily even on soft or muddy terrain. At the front, a rotary drum spinning at 600 revolutions per minute cuts the stems and draws entire clusters of fruit into the processing chamber, while the vibrating sieve below separates soil, weeds, and small stones. Inside the machine, high-resolution cameras and multispectral optical sensors detect up to 98% of each tomato's ripeness and size with precision. The perfect fruits are placed onto soft, air-cushioned conveyors that gently transfer them into trucks moving alongside, while unripe or damaged ones are released behind, falling back onto the field as organic fertilizer. On average, a single harvester can process 50 to 60 tons of tomatoes per hour, equal to the work of more than 250 human laborers, with a damage rate of less than 2%. Compared to American harvesters that can handle up to 70 tons per hour but require completely flat terrain, the Chinese models may be slightly slower but are far more adaptable to uneven fields and use up to 15% less fuel. A clear sign of steady progress in China's agricultural mechanization. In the sun-baked lands of northwestern China, sunflower season reaches its brightest moment as thousands of giant blooms bow toward the horizon, waiting for harvest. Across golden fields, workers move in neat rows, using sickles to cut heavy seed heads and lay them face up on the stems to dry under the hot sun. Once the shells darken and the seeds reach the perfect crispness, massive machines roll in to take over. Teams of workers collect the dried heads and toss them into the feeding chute of the waiting harvester. Inside, a threshing drum spinning at 600 RPM pulls each flower in, using centrifugal force to separate the seeds from the disc. High-power fans blow away husks and dust, while multi-layer vibrating sieves sort the kernels by size and density, keeping only the firmest seeds. Heat and humidity sensors constantly adjust the drum speed to maintain an ideal dryness of 9 to 10%, meeting export and oil pressing standards. At the rear, an automatic conveyor moves the clean seeds into the storage bin, ready for bagging on the spot. Each machine can process 2 to 3 tons of seed heads per hour, tripling productivity compared with hand harvesting. And though still short of full automation, like America's giant harvesters, China's rapid pace of mechanization is quickly steering it toward the throne of global agricultural technology. Surrounded by seed boxes from every continent, you can clearly feel the human effort behind their preservation. Each seed dried, sealed, and transported near the Arctic to ensure life on Earth is never interrupted. Behind the frozen doors lies the foundation of agriculture, the evolutionary memory of tens of thousands of years, and the hope of future generations. The seed vault is only a backup, but deciding how much to preserve and when to use it is a responsibility shared by all of humanity. This is one of the most quiet yet vital scientific projects ever built. If you found this video meaningful, please like and follow Mandarin Tech.